Joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show in advance of the San Francisco 49ers taking on Arizona in the final international series game of the year. This one in Mexico City. He is the perennial Pro Bowler from San Francisco, Nick Bosa. How are you, sir?
Doing fantastic.
It sounds like you are. I'll be honest. It sounds like you are doing exactly that. How is the current stretch of the 49er season reminiscent to you to, say, last year's run and the Super Bowl run of a couple years ago, Nick?
I think it's still early. I think December football and end of November here is really when you figure out where you're headed. But I love where we're at for sure. I see just as much potential in this team as those other teams for sure. I think we're still putting it all together as a team, and it was nice this past week to get some guys back on offense. So it felt like the full stable of guys in there. So, I'm loving our team, and I'm liking how we've bounced back from some of the hard times that we faced early this year. I'm just excited to keep it rolling.
But it does seem to me you're rolling on defense right now. Are you not? Would you think that there's room for more improvement on that front, Nick?
Definitely room for improvement always. I think we've had two pretty darn good games where we've really settled down in the second half and not really allowed much. But I think it's just a matter of being that rock for the team and our offense having that confidence that they don't have to score every time, because we're gonna hold them no matter what the talent is on the other side. We had some lapses throughout that 3-game stretch early on, and after we started out really hot, and I think we're getting back to who we are.
Okay, and who you are. I mean, last year you came so close to the Super Bowl. A couple of years ago, you made it. And, if you want to talk about a through line, it definitely is the defense balling out. And then there's Jimmy G. How has he brought, I guess, some stability to what you guys have done and continuity to what you guys have done, Nick?
Yeah, we love Jimmy. We always have. And he's been our guy. This year started off different with Trey, and when Kyle made the decision to bring Jimmy back in and as the backup, it really gave us some security feeling, just knowing that in a league where quarterbacks mean so much, if one does go down, we have a guy who's experienced and is a big time winner. So it was great news to all of us. And unfortunately, it did happen like that, and Jimmy's our guy now. So, he's brought us as far as we could possibly go, other than winning it all. So we have extreme confidence in him, and also the guys that surround him.
I've got Nick Bosa of the San Francisco 49ers here on the Rich Eisen Show in advance of the Monday Nighter that you'll be able to also hear on Westwood One, just like this show on so many stations, taking on the Arizona Cardinals. And, in that game in which Trey Lance went out for the season, that was a win over Seattle. Seattle just lost in Germany, and now they're on a bye week. Do you have an opportunity to take over first place in this division? Is that something that you guys are discussing right now, Nick, for Monday?
I don't think it's being discussed too much, but we were obviously watching that. Not watching it, but watching the score of it. That game in Germany, I think it was, and you always like to see your division lose. So, but we know that it's going to come down to those division games late in the year is really when it's going to be decided. So I think we got Seattle later on at their place, and then obviously 2 games against Arizona still. So there's a long way to go before playoff picture is set, and our goal is always just to get in, but winning the division is definitely also a big goal of ours.
Well, you missed, if you didn't watch the broadcast, you missed a hell of a performance of who was calling the game, Nick. That was
And who is that?
That was me. I was calling the game in Germany.
Very nice. Did you make the trip?
Oh, I did. Oh, I made it there. I'm still jet lagged out of my skull right now. But you missed it though. Is all I'm saying. I can send you a link if you're interested.
Yeah, I think that's how I'll spend my off day.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I think that's not a bad deal. Nick Bosa here on the Rich Eisen Show. There was some talk of that game about the turf that they were playing on, and I know you and several others, George Kittle, a teammate of yours, and many other prominent players in the league, are talking about the playing surfaces in the NFL right now, and I'd love to give you the floor on what you have been talking about with your colleagues and want fans to know about the playing surfaces that you're on.
I mean, it's just at this point of where the NFL's at with all the money we make, and obviously the old crusty veterans could call us soft for even talking about it, but that's just silly for not wanting to improve the situation for the players. And I mean, a lot of guys have these injuries, and it's not just the acute injuries that happen on the field from the sticky turf or whatever it is. It's the wear and tear from when you're a little kid, being on turf all day and then going to high school and being on turf. Like, that stuff it's not a natural surface. Doesn't have a root system that tears and moves with you while you're moving and takes some of that brunt out of your body. It just goes straight into your joints. And I'm sure coaches could tell you just from standing on it all day that there's a difference there. So, I mean, it's just, you watch soccer, you watch rugby and all these sports, and then you look at the NFL, who probably makes close to the same money or more. I'm not exactly sure. And we can't have 32 teams that play on grass. It's weird to me, and I've dealt with injuries from it, so those are things that last a lifetime. I mean, getting surgery is something that you're going to be dealing with for the rest of your life, whether it's a successful surgery or not. And it's a big passion of mine to try and get as much movement towards that as I can. But who knows?
Well, I know that the slit firm or turf fields that the NFLPA is talking about specifically, one of them is in New Jersey in MetLife, where you got hurt a couple of years ago and definitely affected you and the entire season of the 49ers in that respect as well. Nick, have you spoken to the man who signs the checks there in Jed York about this very subject? Have you had conversations with him on this?
Yeah, I have. I've talked to Jed about it, and obviously we play on grass, and he's one of the owners that really takes care of his players, and that's one of his top priorities. So, I mean, I don't want it to become just that turf is bad conversation, because we should all be on grass. It's not like halfway, let's get this better turf. How about put us on grass, roll it out every game? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just my take on
Yeah,
it.
sure. So do you think, is there any effect that you think you're going to have on this? I mean, what do you think? Your initial, because it was quite a social media blitz. You know, you, Kittle, Cooper Kupp, just to name three. There were so many of them I saw.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like this is more than ever, like, you're hearing a lot about it. So it's definitely in the minds of a lot of people. It's just hard to make changes in this league. I mean, when you go through the CBA process and you're negotiating and you realize just how hard it is to get anything done as a players association, and something that's going to cost a lot of money. It seems like a long shot just because it's been the way it is for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be great if somehow we could get a rule in there that maybe like any new stadiums that are built have to be grass, or so eventually it'll be the way we want it. But yeah, I mean, I play on grass for the majority of the year, and then I go out and warm up on turf before a game, and I'm like, how the hell is this even possible? I'm standing on plastic beads right now, and we're about to play the most violent game men could play at, and we're a bunch of ginormous super athletes, and we can't have a grass field underneath us. It's weird.
Nick Bosa here on the Rich Eisen Show. So you got the game against Arizona on Monday night, and then the Saturday, the Sunday following, you've got New Orleans at home. Where are you going to be that Saturday before the home game in New Orleans? Where are you going to be? What are you going to be doing that Saturday, Nick? What do you think? What are you going to do?
Probably going to be in meetings during the game. So, because I remember I was last year, which was probably a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, so, do you want me to give you updates during your meeting? I can hit you up if you want me to do that. That's what I do for a living. Is I give updates. I give updates for a living. Want me to do that?
I'm pretty sure I'll have a pretty good update, but I'm pretty excited for this one. It's one of probably the highest ranked matchup that they've had.
That's
Has
true.
There been a 1 and 2 ever?
Yeah, there has. It was back in the day. I think in the early, the mid-aughts. Troy Smith was the Ohio State quarterback. I think I said that right. I said the. So,
Yeah.
and because I don't want to disrespect. And that was at the Horseshoe as well. I think Georgia might spoil the 1 versus 2-ness of it all, but it's gonna be lots on the line.
It's gonna be a huge game, and
It will.
I think our defense is playing better this year, but it'll definitely be a challenge stopping the run against team up north.
What do you think? Oh, God, come on, Nick. You can say the word Michigan. Come on. Come on. Can't you? You can't?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not there.
Do you X out? Do you do the X out of the M's too? Do you really do that too? Come on. You're better than that.
Every M that I write.
Oh, my
They do a lot of writing.
gracious. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. All right. You know, yeah, that's a pretty big. It's a pretty big. What do you think of that kid who dominated Penn State? With JTT? What do you think of him?
Yeah.
He's unbelievable, right? Do you speak to him at all?
Coming along, yeah. I think Coach Jay is starting to get him
Killed it.
going. I think he's a sophomore, right?
I don't know. I would like him to leave as fast as possible, and I haven't seen him play against Michigan yet. But what he did, that was one of the most dominant performances I've ever seen from a kid or anybody in defense on the defensive side.
Yeah, I mean the stat line was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep that tradition of pass rushers coming out of Ohio State.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. Yeah, okay, very good. See, I'm trying my best here. I'm trying my best, and I appreciate you calling in right now. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Safe journeys to Mexico and back, sir. I appreciate the time here. Good luck to you, and let's stay in touch if you don't mind.
Sounds great.
You got it.
I appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate you saying that, and I will send you the link so you can spend your time on the off day marveling in my ability to do more than one thing. So I appreciate that, Nick. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sounds good. Go Buckeyes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, very good. Is this thing still on? Thank you. That's Nick Bosa right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.